Hi.
Oh, it's me, my turn. Oh, good. Okay, it's yours. Is this? Okay.
Okay, we're ready to go. Welcome to episode 60 of Qatartainment. We've made it this far, and we're so glad to have you. Welcome. Here we go. In honor of the global dominance of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, we're going to talk some legacy building. With me, it's just Sam. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Glenn. How's everything?
All really good. Very happy to be in your... Well, we're so lucky to be here. Thank you for having us.
It's
On my left,
pleasure.
Gagma Style. How you doing, my man?
Oh, we're doing great. Thank you for introducing us. And yes, if you're wondering, Sengoku's not here anymore.
He will be back.
For
Okay.
now.
Not anymore.
He's
All right,
not
boss man. I didn't
here.
know you won't be here. I'm
So,
sorry.
Yeah, we're taking over.
All
So
right.
he's in Japan having fun, while we're here gonna,
Yeah, he's on a
rise,
content
dawn,
quest.
war, and create a
Mutiny
kingdom
worked,
in
boss
this
man.
podcast. Yeah.
Your show is in good hands. And of course, we have Obi-Wan Kenobi over there.
Hello, everyone. I'm back.
Our
Temporarily. Let's see
why?
whether I
Yeah.
can sustain this. I'm busy. Work.
Yeah,
What-
how's tax
what
season?
does
Life
he say?
finds a
like,
way.
Like people say they have like the token black friend. You're our token Asian host.
I am.
But we're very diverse amongst us, aren't we?
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're pretty good. We're pretty
Yes.
good.
Yes.
Okay, so if you haven't already, ladies and gents, can you please hit like, please hit subscribe, please share, get involved with the conversation, get into the comments, and share on to your brother, your aunt, your uncle, your dog, your cat. Tell them to get involved in
Your local ape.
Qatartainment in our community. Am I right, Gagmar?
Yep.
Okay, so let's start the conversation, guys. So, Planet of the Apes. We've all seen bits and pieces of the new movie. What are our thoughts? Let's start with you, Sam.
I actually saw it, I believe, last night. I went, so it's kind of like fresh.
Cool.
One thing that stuck out, two things actually that stuck out with me was how the music was phenomenal.
Wow, okay.
Based on the emotions of each scene, I really loved the music that went into the world building alongside the everything basically that was happening. But there was something that felt recurrent in a
Mhm.
sense, was how like, okay, if you haven't seen the show, there are going to be maybe perhaps a bit of spoilers.
Not a bit.
Spoiler alert.
We're spoiling a lot,
We're
actually.
gonna be spoiling a lot.
Um,
Just be warned.
In the first movie, Caesar got betrayed by humans.
Mm.
So that gave the whole rise of the Planet of the Apes meaning. And since this is the journey of Noah,
Mm.
it's kind of starting, he became the second Caesar, basically.
Yeah.
His story starts the same. It's being betrayed by humans. And that kind of felt repetitive, but it was a nice touch.
Mhm.
Like still carrying on the legacy of Caesar in a way, still meeting an orangutan and the journey of his journey. Overall, I'd say it was a calmer start in
Mm.
some senses.
Yeah, it was a slow burn, right?
The movie itself, it had a very strong start though.
Mm.
A very strong start, like chaos and destruction, like from the get-go.
Mm.
But the building up to him becoming basically the next leader,
Yeah,
it was a nice touch.
yeah.
Kind of felt like a lot Mongolish type of thing with
It's
the
interesting.
hawks,
Yeah.
and falcons thingies. So interesting to see where it goes to.
Yeah.
Had a lot of Assassin's Creed vibe.
Oh, really? You thought so? It's
Uh,
interesting.
Lord of what was his father called? Lord of Birds, He's a
Mhm.
master of birds type of thing. The decks that they built that they were living in
Mhm.
felt very Assassin's Creedish,
Mm-hmm.
and generally maybe because I've played a lot of the Lara Croft games and Assassin's Creed, Prince of Persia,
Mm-hmm.
the world felt like that.
Yeah. Because we were world building again, aren't we? So we said pre-recording, this is the post-Caesar trilogy. So Caesar has trilogy of Rise, Dawn, War, and I'm into Noah's trilogy. So Gagma, what are your thoughts on the new one?
Okay, well, I haven't watched the new one, so I'm gonna be honest. I only watched the Caesar's trilogy,
Mhm.
but I do have high hopes for Kingdom because it's directed by the same person who made the Maze Runner trilogy.
That's right.
And also, he is working on a live action of The Legend of Zelda.
You excited about that?
So this is why he's actually, because people were concerned, because the last movie he made was The Maze Runner, and so, and it's very nice to see him proving himself by making Kingdom Planet of the Apes and getting really high appraisal. Especially you, Sam, mentioned about the world building and the music. This is very essential for his upcoming projects. Let's say, assuming he's going to work on the post-Caesar trilogy, and he will work on The Legend of Zelda. So it's a really important thing for him to consider and work on, because he will definitely need that.
Yeah.
Assuming he's also going to play all the Zelda games as well. So if he's a true gamer, you know? If he's
So
going to
what do you
be...
think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the movie. I think it's not perfect. It's not perfect, but it does have good elements to it. And actually, I have a lot of questions. I feel like there's some areas in it where there's just plot armor that comes into play on why things are it is. But overall, as what Sam said, yeah, it was okay. So for me, it's just all right. I'm sorry.
That's
I can't sugarcoat it anymore. I can't.
Yeah.
It's all right. For a starting movie, as you say, high hopes. Maybe the next one would be they'd build on this.
Yeah.
As something to build on, I think it has a lot of potential.
Because that one makes I think that what made the Caesar trilogy is that the way humans would interact with apes and the way apes would naturally interact with the human world, and then they would go to the forest and make their own world. I think that's very important. I think that's what makes it good, because you're changing an entire, how can we say it? You're just changing an entire perception, how they communicate, how they behave, how they live.
Yeah.
They're just daily life and everything. So it's really important to consider these things, because I think that's what sells Planet of the Apes. It's not the plot. I don't believe so, because the plot is okay, personally, to be honest, watching the Caesar trilogy. But I think what I really personally like is the world building.
Okay.
The way they communicate, the way they
Yes,
trying
it's
to
organic
be
language that's
human.
evolved, doesn't it?
The world, and also as you can see, all of the remnants of the human civilization.
Yeah, the skyscrapers.
The skyscrapers.
The bridges are now just mold.
Yeah,
and
how-
Especially with Rise, seeing the post-apocalyptic world,
Yes.
and then it's crazy.
People
I
can
think
get enough of post-apocalyptic Earth for some
It's
reason.
on trend, isn't it?
It is.
Also,
After the war, after the bomb was dropped, after the virus.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
But this one is more of a virus, which is different from I think the original when they showed the original film back in the 60s.
Oh, the Charlton Heston.
the
original,
old
yeah.
ones where the reason for having this planet is because of the nukes, people killing each other because of the nukes. But this one is more of because of the virus. I think that's what they changed
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Wisdom. So one thing we haven't said, which I'm glad about, is the special effects. We're talking about these apes like they're real. I think the effects have become so pristine. The
Yes.
Wizards of Weta. And just the opening scene where you have the three apes and they're in the trees. I went, whoa, that's high up.
Yeah, I was actually there was a moment between where they towards the end of the movie where the apes hug each other, and I was like, damn, the fur dynamic was flawless. You did not necessarily feel
Is that all CG? Everything is CG?
Yeah.
to an extent,
everything.
yeah.
Yes.
Everything.
And it's really
Performance
well
capture,
made.
But yeah.
It's very well made. Compared to some movies, you kind of see the difference between the parts that are actually real and CGI.
Like the Matrix?
Matrix, the first three were very well made.
Okay.
If we're honest, maybe that's Resurrection, was it called? The fourth
Yeah.
one. That one was a bit too much CGI.
Mm-hmm.
I would say so, but the first, the original trilogy of Matrix was very well
CG
made.
blended in perfectly in the first one.
Yeah. that's
Yeah.
right.
Yes. But this one, yeah, you're right, because the trees and everything, the foliage.
Everything.
I thought it
Yes.
was an actual forest. I didn't know.
Yeah,
It was
I
CG.
was curious too. I was like, where is this shot? and like I kind of do like nature to an extent, and I go look around, but
We go to
the-
say have a tour.
this type, yeah, like this type of geography is not like somewhere on Earth itself, and
Like,
then
even the houses that they built.
yeah,
That's CG.
And I have a habit of, especially in theaters and cinema, I sit through the credits until the end, and sometimes eventually you pick up on names,
Right.
on who's working on what and things like that. And the biggest block of people who worked in the movie itself was the VFX and
Oh, right. Okay.
audio.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe I would even go further and say 70% of the names was under these two categories.
Okay.
So a very heavily dense
That's-
team on
yeah.
VFX and effects.
So
and
lots of
everything.
investment in that.
Yeah.
It's good to know. Okay.
Another thing about Planet of the Apes is one thing that was very well made is the apes' facial features.
Mm.
Like, generally, like when I watch, let's say, Star Wars, or I would watch any of these high fictional movies that has different creatures with different people, I would have difficult to,
Suspend
remember them
disbelief.
unless they look completely different or they're different species. But with Planet of the Apes, they nailed facial features so well that like if you can show me like Caesar, Cornelius, Maurice, Rocket, and any of Koba and any of them, I would immediately recognize them.
That's
Because
special,
because it's very well made.
I think they had
It's
to.
very impressive.
They had
what
to. You
did
know
it.
why? Because personally for me, and the reason probably why I didn't like it that much is I couldn't relate too much with monkeys. They're monkeys. They're apes, right? So normally what you do is you look at humans
Yeah.
and then you see the facial features and then I could see myself
Empathize.
emphasize
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
position, that person. It's an ape. It's an ape talking, apes together strong. So, I mean, for you to empathize with them, you should be able to at least find the facial features familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what they did. And you're right, they did it perfectly well.
Yeah. So like you would empathize.
Are you
and, like,
against animal rights? Is
I'm
that
not-
what you're saying?
I'm not against animal rights.
So you don't empathize with animals?
No,
or
no,
like-
but humans are supreme. We either pet them or eat them. So humans were the superior race. For this movie, I'm pro-human.
Mhm.
I'm in the human camp. And I think this is where it's going anyway.
Vegans, you should be watch out from this man.
No, I don't know.
You should be careful.
If you
No.
see him in the streets,
Yeah.
No, I think this is where it's going. This new trilogy is going to be humans. And,
I would agree. Rise of the humans.
yeah.
Cause,
Rise of the planet of the humans.
I mean, of
Yeah,
course, we're all
yeah,
humans.
kinda-
Humans taking over.
Yeah.
Yes, this is
It
what's
is
the-
because
the cycle. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna spoil the ending anyway.
Yeah, spoil it.
Spoilers.
Wait for Kingdom. Okay.
What they turn on in the ending, the station that they actually turn on, it's a military satellite facility. It shows as a telecommunication thing where they want to like connect with the other
What?
people around the world in regards of the satellites and the machinery that they do. But what they actually turn on is a military facility in the movie. Those
The
satellites,
dishes.
the
dish.
dishes that they come, they are military grade satellites,
Right.
satellite dishes, and the silo in which they open and go through, what she pulls out is generally when things were analog, way before the advancement of technology, that things have become digital. That was how the ICBMs used to be launched.
Oh yeah, good
Right.
point. That's a good point. Yeah, it's true. True.
The machinery, the chipsets. There is a scene in when they go down the silo. They're actually going down an ICBM tunnel
Oh.
where you can see the chamber of what the ICBM sits in, with like if you're a student of that world, you would notice it kind of. But if you're not into that type of like technology and nautical like airlines and things like
Yeah, I
that,
didn't
you
catch
wouldn't
that.
pick up that.
I didn't
on
pick
it.
that up. Yeah.
But there is a shot in which they are coming down the silo, and it shows the tube basically, and the chamber in which an intercontinental ballistic missile sits in. And I was like, okay, this is definitely like, yeah, definitely going towards that.
Yes.
Heading
yes.
towards war.
I like where this is going. We're gonna nuke the apes. Yes.
I mean,
Humans. Humans.
Rise up.
supreme,
Honestly,
Take our
reign
planet
supreme.
back.
If there's one thing I'm surprised about is how humans couldn't be able to kill all the apes.
Not yet.
Considering all the weaponry they had.
No, it was all locked up. So
Even though like
Is
there
that where
was
it's all locked away?
it was
like
locked
even
away.
on War of the Planet of the Apes.
So that virus took away our intelligence, right? The ability to communicate.
Yes.
yes.
And it worked reverse on apes, increased their intelligence. So, good question. Where did all the weapons go? And why did the technology just simply disintegrate?
Yeah, like it's very interesting like how like humans have just like became incapable of like yes, physically and like physical wise apes have much more than that. You know, they can just climb and jump and do all of that, and like they have 2 hands and 2 feet. They can just like walk around faster with it comparing to humans. But we have so much more advanced weaponry that we can easily wipe them.
But we were dumb.
But
So
yeah, we're
we-
too dumb.
No, we turned dumb because of the virus.
Or turned dumber? Yeah.
Dumber.
Yeah, and like we progressively get worse as like time gets. So like maybe if there's like, you know, world war, like apes and the humans, I would love to see like how it would turn out.
Oh, that's a
Like
trilogy.
who's gonna be done?
That's
Like
a trilogy.
that's another
That's,
trilogy.
I
That
would
is the
say
trilogy.
like that
Yeah.
might be the trilogy
That's a
itself.
trilogy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like we would see humans just, you know, absolutely nuking everything and killing every single ape
What we
possible.
do.
They're gonna Thanos snap every ape.
Yeah.
Like that would be
So then I have a question. So you raised that point very well. ICBMs, right?
Yeah.
So you remember when spoiler again. So remember when she told Noah that the reason why she wants to enter that fortress is she wants to get something to turn the minds of people back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't get anything, any chemicals or anything. She just pulled out that key, which is a communications key.
Yeah.
So that's a lie. She
Yeah.
was lying then.
She was lying.
She was lying.
She was lying.
She was looking for a way.
Those chipsets.
Right.
If you notice at the end of the movie, it is 3.
Yeah.
And she brings back the final piece. There was a blue one, yellow one, and what she takes from that silo is the red one. I'm sure people in movies, they have heard of the football, what they call the football
Mm-hmm.
in movies, which is basically the suitcase that the presidents have, and it's the launch codes for
Yes.
Oh, not the handcuff to the guy.
Yeah.
guy to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
thing. Yeah, that was what the nuclear football used to be before. 3 chipsets, and if you notice, she pulls it out of what were those called again? Control panel.
Control panels.
If you notice that control panel, it's not a satellite control panel; it's a launch panel.
Right.
Ah, there we go.
It's
like
a
has
launch
3 sockets and then you would
it
put the
has
keys.
yeah,
and then
the key.
Yeah.
The if you notice the sockets, the buttons, and things like that, it was like I was like, oh damn. But as soon as they actually entered in through the broken shaft and window thing, I was like, yep, this is a missile silo. And then
Oh,
when
man.
it progressed, I was like, yep, I was correct.
She lied. She lied.
Yeah,
Like a
from the
human.
beginning, and it's such a. I was like, it's such a relapse.
Yeah.
It's like James Franco lied in the first one. So
There we go.
Yes.
So history rhyming, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And the irony about it, you know, they're spreading Caesar's teaching. So Caesar's teachings is
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
yes. So humans together. Apes together, but don't hurt the humans. Don't kill each other. That's its second commandment. Third commandment is don't fight with the humans. I think, right? So that would be the downfall of the apes actually, if they follow Caesar's Caesar's teachings, because humans by nature are
Hungry.
hmm?
Hungry.
Not hungry. By nature, we lie, right, to get our way. So the humans will do it, and the monkeys will be trusting humans because that is what Caesar teaches them, and this is what Noah wants to spread to his kingdom or to his tribe, right?
Yeah.
So then that will be the downfall of them as well. It's just the irony of it, like an old teaching that's supposed to give you wisdom or supposed to help you flourish as a civilization will lead to your downfall.
You could say he's like the ideal ape,
Mhm.
like
The ideal
with his
ape.
minds. I don't want to say he's Jesus,
Ape Jesus.
but I mean, I guess that's how they see him,
Savior.
it's like-
yeah.
Yeah, like he's
Uh-huh.
guiding them towards peace and everything, and
Yeah.
like
The
away
bigger
from.
irony was when you take like a zoom out. What was happening? What was the king ape called?
Proximus Caesar.
Proximus.
Awesome name. Yeah. So I love the way how they use the Caesar as the royal title.
Title
Like in
still,
ancient
yeah.
Rome, yeah.
Yeah, it
Julius
was,
Caesar.
and
yeah.
there was a homage to it where the person, the guy who was living with him and was reading him books, he was actually reading him Kaiser Julius's book. So it kind of makes sense, but the bigger irony is that the world flipped. It came into the hand of the apes, but the same story that happened with humans is happening with apes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Bigger ape gets a kingdom, tries to get weapons, destroy people, control the other apes, and same cycle, different.
Yeah. So they're no better than us. So who better to rule the world than the humans, right? If the species
Like,
taking
we've
over
been-
is
I
so
mean,
better than
If,
us,
if we're being honest, we're saying this because we've already gone through this on thousands of years.
Yeah. We've
So
witnessed.
we figured out a way how to do it,
yeah,
at least
yes,
comparing to apes, where just they're just starting to discover
Mhm.
power dynamic and
Greed.
hierarchy, royalty,
Yeah.
human manipulation, like all of these things that we as humans lived in for thousands of years.
Yeah.
That they're now just figuring it out. Maybe they should have been just apes, They should have
Yeah.
just lived as apes,
Live off
just
the land.
in the zoo.
swinging by the branches and just like eating bananas instead of having to deal with our stuff.
Leave our stuff.
Yeah, like just leave
But
human things alone.
curiosity. What does it say? Curiosity killed the cat. Like
Yeah.
James Franco fucked around, but he found out as well. So
yeah,
Cancelled.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's eventually if the apes do defeat us, they're just gonna go through the same cycle of probably discovering a virus that will kill them, and making some other species smarter. Maybe the falcons,
I would go with squirrels.
the squirrels.
Squirrels would be.
The squirrels are already very smart. So if you give them another vaccine or something, yeah, that will be a dangerous precedent. Don't give them any ideas. Squirrels.
Okay,
mean-
folks, if you have your own reviews of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, please leave them in comments. We're going to read out all the comments, interact with everyone. Please get involved. Okay, any last thoughts, any last words on guys before we move on to our main topic? Are we all good in the hood?
Well, I hope I can finish watching it so I can maybe give you guys a review for next week.
You still have to finish Star Wars, don't forget.
I'm close. I'm 30 minutes to finish episode 9. But I will have to keep that for next week so I can give you both
Or just
Star
li-
Wars, the sequel trilogy,
Yeah.
and Kingdom, Planet of the Apes, and just Planet of the Apes as general. So yeah, stay tuned for next week.
Of course, reason to
I
come
just
back
hope
in
they don't repeat the whole dynamic of the first trilogy.
Yeah.
If it's making them money, they're gonna do it.
That's
Let's be
true,
honest. If it's making them money, they're gonna do it. But yeah, let's.
I think it's a very intelligent story. I don't think they will repeat the rhyme. It would be a terrible shame if they did.
I mean,
I think with new directors, and the director, like we said, had a lot to live up to with the Caesar trilogy, and he's knocked it out of the park. Made 130 million in opening weekend. Outdid the rest of the top 10 alone, and the whole world's talking about it. So I think they've done their job. So fingers crossed. But
Yep.
in honor of this movie, we're talking about legacy series. Okay, guys. So we've shared some movies that we like that have gone through the legacy sequel journey, if you like, as opposed to being rebooted. So there was a time when everything was being rebooted, say 10 years ago. and we had movies that were famous in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and then would just be rebooted by the Hollywood studios to be a quick buck. So reboot has sort of lost the true meaning. So when I think of a reboot, I always think of the Daniel Craig trilogy of Bond, sorry, not the series, which is
definitely.
what was left behind was behind, and this was James Bond. Whatever had
Yes.
come before didn't matter. But you have a legacy sequel, my go-to is Star Wars, the sequel trilogy. So we had Han, we had Leia, we had Luke coming back. Star Wars wasn't rebooted, it was just continued, okay?
Yeah.
And some of these series have been more successful than others. So I think the way Planet of the Apes done it, I've sort of done it in reverse. They haven't done a legacy sequel, they've done a legacy prequel. I think has worked really, really well. So they have the IP. They managed to survive the Tim Burton disaster. Have you guys seen that? The
Which
Tim Burton
one?
Planet of the Apes. Tim Burton directed with Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, really?
Have you seen that?
Which one
I'm
was it?
so glad you
Glenn, we
haven't.
don't talk about that one.
Oh, good.
We don't talk
We
about
don't talk
that.
about that.
No, no.
Okay. But they survived
That's-
that debacle.
Yeah.
And obviously came back with the Caesar trilogy. And it's major successful.
Yeah.
So have we thought about what legacy sequels we enjoy the most? I gave you guys some suggestions before, but do you have any of your own?
Well, honestly, like in terms of trilogies, I have difficulty in liking trilogies, mostly because like it gets too repetitive, or it reaches to a point where it's unnecessary.
So yeah, films today are made to
Where
be
it's
parts
better
of
to
trilogy,
just
aren't
keep it the way it was. Like for example, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
they? Mm.
I mean, let's be real. Like, ever since we finished Harry Potter, how many of you have watched Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them?
I didn't even watch Harry Potter, so.
See,
I have no desire.
See, exactly.
I saw
Yeah.
that's
three.
the
But
problem.
here's the thing.
At this point,
The
you're
fans, though, those like fanatic people, they do.
They're
watch
Yeah, they
it.
like it.
keep it to the original source. If you're not able to make it as good as the original source, that's the problem.
Okay.
The problem in that is the writers. For the same reason Henry Cavill left The Witcher. For the same reason Henry Cavill, like he was I'm done after three seasons. Like I'm done.
Mhm.
You're not keeping it to what Witcher actually is or how the story of Witcher goes on.
Mhm.
It's a writer thing. Many times, like you see a lot of things being made. It's one of the things that you brought about Legend of Zelda. There was a controversy, not controversy, but rather like kind of outcry thing, where eventually the director comes out and he says like, guys, I'm one of you. Like, don't worry, I'm not one of those directors. I love Zelda myself. But that's the problem.
Until he
You get
goes to a completely different
executives
direction.
make a decision, let's make this. They get a few named writers, and none of the writers either have neither played a game or read a book about it or nothing, and they just write
Yeah, what they think.
what they think
it looks like.
or
Or what
they
they're
would-
told
what
about.
they're actually told. A
Yeah.
big example of it.
By a person who also didn't play the game.
Yeah, kind of. It is true though. One of my favorite games that I've played since childhood was Castlevania. Castlevania, I was very, I would say, ecstatic when it was announced as a Netflix anime, an animation that they made.
I did watch that, yeah.
Season 1 was very well done.
Yeah, season 1 was good.
Mhm.
Season 1
Was
was very
excellent,
well
yes.
done. And then slowly it starts to go downhill. Where at some point, you see that this was an executive decision
Mhm.
to push like executive agenda bullshit through the series.
Right.
Not agenda per se, but it's more of like grabbing the viewer's attention, like creating shock value. I have seen all the seasons that you were mentioning, and yeah, there was a lot of shock value scenes that it was just over exaggerated.
It's not that just necessarily over exaggerated, but also things that like has nothing to do with lore.
Yeah.
It's there were a lot of Alucard moments.
Yes,
where
that one.
this is not what Alucard is or what he represents, but this is what 21st century youth represents. So there is that agenda thing that gets pushed.
Really?
Yeah. And like one of the things talking about reboots, which I really enjoyed, was the new Batman.
Good call.
No, is Batman a
new-
reboot though? Is it considered a reboot by your definition?
Yes.
Batman. The
so
Batman.
we would say the
I
Dark
would
Knight,
say yes.
Dark Knight trilogy reboot. Ben Affleck reboot. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I would consider.
But you said an interesting word, lore. Yeah, that's really interesting.
It
term to
is,
use,
because
yeah.
what is Batman? He's not a superhero. He's not a what
An
they
alien,
call it,
he's not-
he's a dude who has a lot of money and so much like psychological issues, and he is just labeled as the world's best detective.
Mhm.
And that's what the Twilight guy. What was his name?
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, Robert
yeah,
Pattinson. Yeah, yeah.
That's what his character brings. A person who has a lot of issues that's just a good detective, a really good detective. And it kind of goes back to how Batman was written.
Yeah.
The child who grows up with so many issues and
Yeah.
is just a millionaire,
Trauma,
and
yeah.
his trauma causes him to just solve crime.
Mhm.
Not necessarily bring people to justice, but solve crime. And the dark, twisted way cinematography that it was made, you don't see the very light and bright shots that we used to get in Ben Affleck's Batman or the Christian Bale's Batman. Like Christian Bale's, you have very bright morning shots and scenes as well.
Yeah.
But not in Pattinson's. It really captures that darkness that grows around Batman.
The environment of Gotham.
The environment of
everything
Gotham,
is
yeah.
The
dark,
gloom and the
bluish,
lifeless
gloomy,
energy.
raining,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
So that's one of the
Noir.
things that, it goes back to the detective
Yeah, yeah,
noir
the
type
noir
of
type of-
era of
yes.
cinema.
Yes.
So that is one of the reboots that I'm really
Yeah.
looking forward to.
Are they making
Another
sequel
one.
of it?
Yes.
They
I
are.
believe it's
Yeah.
gonna go on, and it goes because who do we associate Batman with? The Joker, like that's his
That's it, yeah.
mega thing. But there are very interesting other villains.
I mean,
that
the Riddler
Batman
was.
goes through. The Riddler, you get like Scarecrow is kind of yes, but the Kingpin, Penguin, he has a very great dynamic with Batman throughout his story.
Yeah, they have parallels, don't they?
Yeah, he never really catches the Penguin either, but at the same time, there is a lot of back and forth between them. Like Penguin has a lot of human side as well compared to what Joker is. Or
Yeah, they had in that movie. They had the Penguin, right? That's Colin
Yeah,
Farrell,
that
which I
was-
didn't recognize. It was Colin Farrell.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a great job with them. He got a new TV show coming out soon, of course. Well,
Yeah, for Kingpin.
on Max. Yeah.
So is it gonna be like before the first Batman movie, or is it after the Batman movie? I wonder where is it set?
So in the Batman movie, he's not the Penguin yet. He's still just Oswald
Ah,
Cobblepot
so it's
gangster.
before he's the Penguin.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is his rise to
Yeah.
being the Penguin. So did Falcone? Did he die in the Batman?
Yes, he
So
did.
there's
He
a
did.
power vacuum now.
Yes,
isn't
he
there?
did.
So, yeah.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
So, for me myself, I'm looking forward to the Batman reboot to see what
It's
gets
great.
done with it.
But there is one reboot that I actually don't like, and it's the Avatar.
Why?
Why is that a reboot?
Why?
Are we
I've-
talking about James Cameron? Or are we talking?
Yes,
about
James
That's
Cameron.
not a reboot.
Like the way
It's a
of the way
sequel.
of
It's a
water.
sequel.
That's a
It's
sequel.
not a reboot though.
Yeah, but like they're making like 4 other movies and something.
But that's what Avatar.
That's just the story going
yeah.
on.
Yeah, but like I'm surprised how they take so long to develop something like this.
Yeah, he's waiting for technology to catch up with his imagination. Yeah.
That's just James Cameron. Though.
That's James
yeah,
Cameron,
that's just.
yeah.
That's
Okay, I
just-
guess so. Yeah.
So he applies all the money he makes from Avatar into making the next Avatar movie.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he makes $1 billion per
Something
movie,
like
and then
that,
you
yeah.
and then the next movie afterwards costs the same amount as it.
So I guess he just makes
The film
$1 billion
underwater and then-
movies.
Yeah.
That's all he does now. That's on CV.
It's
yeah.
it's the craziness that even with other movies that he's done, like he really gets deep into it
Mhm.
until he finds something. Like if it's for example, a Mad Max type of movie. If he did a Mad Max, it was like, no, I want missiles, like live missiles on this shot, and
Yeah.
like,
Of course, James Cameron started The Terminator, which has died its death because of legacy movies, legacy sequels. Because have you guys seen Dark Fate, where Linda Hamilton came back and they killed John Connor in the opening 5 minutes? Oof.
They
that was
killed John
poor.
Connor.
Yeah. So this version, the sequel, took place just after T2, and another Terminator had been sent back and killed John just after Terminator 2, but Sarah survived and grew older and then had to protect the world.
But John-
and Arnie was still around somehow.
So John Connor, the guy who's supposed to save the world, it was dead.
Yeah.
And then Sarah then took over.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
a
there's
twisted
yeah.
timeline, man.
I
It's,
believe the last one I saw was there was a
Girl
scene
power.
where they I believe James Conner eventually, no, it's not James Conner though, they go into Skynet
Hmm.
and they break everything down and blow it up.
Genesis with
I
Khaleesi, Jay Courtney.
Their names escape my mind, but where the final sequence, the ending sequence of him is dying, he finds out he's half robot.
Oh,
And
yes.
they pick him up in the helicopter.
Sam Worthington was in it.
Yeah.
Christian Bale was in
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That one, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that was the last one, and I was like, nah, this is just like
It's got two,
taking.
yeah. So they really milked that sequel and milked that franchise, and now it's died its death. So that is one of the reasons. So another legacy sequel we can talk about. Okay, let's talk about Star Wars. So we did our May the 4th edition.
Yep.
Are we so fresh in your mind, Gagma? So the sequel trilogy, bitter taste in your mouth. Are you glad they did it, or why, oh why?
Personally, first of all, I love the world building
Mm.
in the sequel trilogy.
Right.
It's wonderful. Like, with recent technology and recent cinematography, it truly makes Star Wars to justice. Comparing to, the 1980s or like the 2000s, where it's like still, like it's there, but still, not enough. Even though they're incredible trilogies, the prequel, both prequel and the original trilogy, but the sequel just shined it in a much better.
Okay.
Especially like some great characters like BB-8,
Mm-hmm.
one of my favorites. I think I love him. Who else that Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren was a good villain.
Mm-hmm.
I
Rey.
liked him. No.
Ray.
No.
She was.
No, we're saying no. To Rey.
She's good, but not enough.
She lacks personality.
She lacks personality. By the way, she in the next trilogy she'll be the star again, I think.
Yes, Rey's.
Ray's gonna lead that again.
Mhm.
Like she needs more.
Yeah,
she,
but
she needs more characters. Like she needs to be, Anakin Skywalker type of character. Like not villainous. I don't want her to be the villain, but I just want her to have more personality, more confidence.
no, I think
Instead of just being this rebellious Skywalker that
So was she lazily written, which is
I feel like she's
a
just
downside of legacy trailers, where you're just relying on nostalgia, which of course is a currency in Hollywood.
she's relying on her childhood. She's
Oh.
relying on her being the granddaughter of Palpatine,
Right.
and I'm trying to look for my
daughter of Palpatine.
yes,
Yeah, so she's the daughter of one of his clones. Yeah.
and like
Couldn't
relying
be
on that.
put to evil.
Like she's just living off of her trauma. That is just like it's just like you're just seeing her. Okay, like after what? Like okay, once you reach this closure, and you gets to accept this, and everything. So like, but what else?
by the way, she's a good actress. I'm not gonna take it from her. She's a very good actress. But the thing is, as you say, when you say reboots, the expectation is it's a fresh take of the series, right?
Yeah.
So a fresh take of the series means taking out with the old, in with the new, right?
I
So
actually
Chad-
prefer Finn.
To Rey.
Yes,
So you prefer him being
Finn
the lead. So
and
he was
Poe.
pushed aside. Yeah.
Finn and Poe were good characters.
Okay.
personally. Like, you know, with how Finn started as
His story started so
Yes,
well. It was so
and-
exciting.
as a clone, and then builds his humanity, and then meets people who happens to be the same as him. Like, now I want to see him finding his parents.
See, when I saw the introduction of Finn and how it started,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is a. I'm not personally a Star Wars fan. I think I've made that clear. Um, but being a person who, when you look at the list of movies that's on that weekend, you end up out of things. You're like, I'm gonna give Star Wars a shot, at
Wow.
the very least, like because it's a household name. You want to go to the cinema on a weekend. You don't know what to go. If there's Star Wars, that's generally, I would say, like 80% of the time, a non-fan would still choose something like Star Wars because of the name.
Because it's safe.
Yeah, it's kind of like a safe bet.
It's
when
also an
you-
excuse to go to the cinema, especially if
Yeah,
you have
true.
friends who are fans to Star Wars.
No, but I'm talking about like people who don't generally go to cinema for Star Wars. You're in a mall or like a place, and you're like, oh, let's go watch a movie, and you see what's on, and if there is Star Wars, it's like going to for example, a Batman movie. Because it's Batman, you go and watch it.
Yeah.
It's a household type of name. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, but they're playing Batman, and you go to the cinema. Oh, they're
And
playing
Godzilla as
Star
well.
Wars. Godzilla is another
Good
one
call,
of them.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies that if you're just going to the movies, you're gonna choose to watch. And for me, that was the case that I actually saw Star Wars. But the way they introduced Finn, I was like, this is a nice, different take on introducing. It's not a Skywalker. What were they called? Jedis?
Stormtrooper.
Introducing a Jedi, actually. Like, oh, it would be an interesting way to introduce a Jedi. But then somewhere in the middle of that movie, it kind of completely went in a different direction.
Finn's not a Jedi though.
Yeah, no, but I would at the beginning of it, if you look at it as an outside lens, you see how through the dynamics of cinema. Because at some point, I've watched so much movies that I can take a wild guess at how the movie ends.
He has the
And-
potential to be a Jedi. Actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
it would
Force
have
is
been
with
a
him.
Even
nice,
though he's
yeah,
not
it
a
would have been
Jedi, he
nice
has the
twist
potential.
to actually add like Stormtrooper clone gains consciousness, becomes Jedi. It's like a different twist than what actually Star Wars has been. But then at some point in that kind of took
Like from a
away-
brainwashed stormtrooper
Yeah.
to an awakened and powerful Jedi.
Yeah.
That's a really good story.
It'd be nice if we catch up with him in Rey's trilogy.
Yeah, assuming he can kill Rey. That'd be fun.
Oh, but he loves Rey.
But if there's one character I did actually not like in the sequel trilogy, it's Luke.
Oh, Luke was my boy. Yeah.
Pissed me off.
Yeah. So did you
He's
have
like-
high hopes after the end of
Like,
Force
you know-
Awakens, and then
You know, like
yeah.
I've seen the trailers at the time, the Force Awakens, and these were coming out at the time. It was getting released, episode 7 and 8, and people seeing them hyping up Luke Skywalker. And I had high hopes. You know, he's just gonna change. He's just gonna come out and then, I don't know, ruin the Empire once again, the First Order once again. But no, he disappointed me a lot.
Why did he disappoint you? In what
He's-
aspect?
Like, first of all, he created Kylo Ren, then he lies about he created Kylo Ren, and then he tries to kill Kylo Ren. Make it make sense.
Yeah, because Kylo Ren is out of control. He's joined.
No, he's out of control. It's
He's
not
not out of
Kylo Ren. Brother, you manipulated him to be Kylo Ren. That's the problem. Like, he trained him to be a Jedi, to not go to the Dark Force, and then out of nowhere, he was just like looking into the future. Instead of him like learning from Yoda and from his apprentices, no, he's just like goes to kill him. Like, of course he's gonna go to the Dark Force because you turned him to the Dark Force. And then he lies to Rey about, oh, he tried to kill me and like this happened, this. And then when he goes to fight him, he's just like, he doesn't even reconcile. He's just like trying to. They're just fighting. Like
Oh, it's forced projection.
like
you
he
mean?
yeah
That was-
like he
that was a
didn't
bit
actually
kick-ass.
open up and express his sorries about like, hey, I messed up, I shouldn't have done that, or like I've loved, or like like from a master to an apprentice.
Mhm.
I really don't
He failed.
I really don't understand his why you need to put Luke Skywalker there. Did he actually contribute to Rey's development as a Jedi? I don't think so, right? Because what I recall, Rey discovered everything and she became strong. I mean, on her own. It's like a self-discovery that I have these skills and everything. I didn't need Luke Skywalker's help.
He
in the
only
first
gave
place. So what did he? I don't remember what he contributed to her.
history. He only gave history about the Jedi's,
Oh.
the original scriptures and the laws of Jedi, how they lived and everything. And guess what? Here he burnt it all.
Yeah, but it didn't contribute.
But like
to
it didn't even matter to the plot as well.
His presence in the movie was just to bring people in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The original
Came to
Star
see them.
Wars.
Yeah, it was like, okay, we have to give him like 15 minutes of screen time so we can put his face on the poster
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Because
And then we kill him.
the
felt an obligation.
Rey like goes from a level 1 Jedi to a level 100 in the span of like 40 minutes in the movie.
40 minutes in the movie. She didn't need anybody to be, to train her. Why put Luke Skywalker and just put him in a position, that fans would hate the franchise the way they portrayed him in the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that, to be honest.
yeah, like it's such a shame. Like from once was like the guy who would turn and ruin the empire, overhaul the empire,
Yeah, he brought
to bring closure to his father, to being a great pilot and being a great leader, to just the most pathetic introvert I have ever seen.
on screen.
It's just honestly such a shame. Like it's just sad. It's sad.
Yeah.
Like at this point you're like, why did I watch Star Wars? Like it really just makes you regret watching Star Wars.
Well, that's interesting, yeah. Because
Another opinion. Sorry.
banter at the time was that wasn't my look.
Yes.
Yeah, that wasn't my look.
That wasn't the original fans wouldn't think Luke would devolve into such a state in that movie.
Mm.
And that's the reason why they're getting a lot of flack. And now they're casting the same people. So, I mean, the same sort of friend that the fans hate. So I don't get. I mean, what's their plan?
I mean, it's also directed by J.J. Abrams.
So, Force Awakens, J.J. Abrams. Then he skipped. Ryan Johnson did The Last Jedi, and then J.J. Abrams did The Rise of Skywalker.
Is he gonna do the upcoming trilogy?
No, I think he's done. I think he faced
Finally,
too much
he's done.
backlash from.
Okay, that's good.
'cause he faced too much backlash from introducing so much, abandoning it, then coming back when Kathleen Kennedy said, "Come and save Star Wars, JJ." But he started all that with no plan. I would say no plan for the trilogy at all. Just make it up as you go along. And okay, JJ, you do it, and then Ryan, you do it, and then who's got Colin Trevorrow? You do it. You're not doing it. Okay, JJ, come back. And obviously, we left. Everything that was introduced in Force Awakens was just abandoned and twisted, and things that were brought up in Last Jedi were then abandoned and thrown
I
out.
have a question though. Where does Star Wars come from? Is
Like,
it
what's
a
the original
novel,
source?
or is it
Oh, it's George Lucas's
Yeah.
mind.
just,
just-
the vision of
Yes,
a
just his
madman?
creations.
Yeah,
Okay.
the ramblings of a madman.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't even have like a book.
No,
No,
comics,
comic
no
book,
comics, no
original
like,
source.
It's Spawn
any-
books. It's Spawn comics. That's what it did.
So he just like makes stuff up as he goes.
I've heard a lot of parallels between Star Wars and the stories of who was the writer of Lord of the Rings? Tolkien.
Yeah, there's some Tolkien in there.
Yeah.
General Tolkien.
There's some samurai movies in there.
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz. Flash
Dune.
Gordon's a big one. Yeah, so he's put all these sources and he's
And,
mixed them
yeah.
together.
Especially Dune.
Dune, oh definitely. Especially the last
Dune.
Dune
It's a great influence for sure.
reboot. Yes.
I haven't
Amazing.
seen it.
There we go, good call.
Have
Yes,
you not
good
I
seen?
have not seen. I wanted to go, but
Brother,
the
you're
movie is so
missing
goddamn
out.
long, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm not gonna sit in a leather chair
no.
for that long."
But it's interesting.
Trust
now.
me, It's really good. You have to trust me. It's really good. It's worth every second.
Yeah,
The
Willy
new one?
Wonka.
Huh?
The new one?
Yes, of course. Who's gonna watch the old one? No one.
Willy Wonka was
Like,
excellent in that movie.
yeah.
Willy Wonka.
Willy
Is that his name now? All this,
Yes,
all
yes.
these
The
great
side
movies.
character
like,
from Interstellar did
Yes.
really great job.
He's an excellent what's his name?
Timothy
Chalamet.
No, Timothy Chalamet.
Chalamet.
No, his role.
Atreus. No.
Atreus, yes.
No,
Atreides?
that's of God of War.
Sorry,
Wait.
Atreides. Paul Atreides.
Paul Atreides.
Yeah, Paul Atreides.
Yes.
Good call.
Excellent Paul Atreides.
So like, yeah, it's.
By the way, I haven't watched the old films.
No,
I
do
just
not watch
I just
those
watched
films.
this one.
Yeah, this is its
Though
own
they
universe.
do take a lot of inspiration from the old one, and they just
Well, it's the same source material, the books.
I've seen
it's not
some-
even no,
yes.
it's not about that. They kind of bring homage to the old one.
Fair enough.
I've seen some snips of the old movies, and yes, it
Yeah.
was all better. The props, the effects, of course, would be
Cinematography, the world
cinematography.
building.
I think everything was. It was what do you call this? It was a great reboot.
You
It's a
know,
good
I was
reboot.
speaking of homages. I was kind of expecting that in Planet of the Apes.
Mm.
There was when they went through San Francisco and going through the like city and the ruins and everything.
Yeah.
I was waiting for a moment where like Lady Liberty would pop up somewhere, especially when they went along that scene where they go along the shore.
Yeah.
I was
Yes,
like,
good call.
I'm sure they're like gonna be at least like her
You know,
torch, yeah. But
they didn't show it because in that was the old version. As I said, that was the time when when supposedly nukes destroy the world. This is a different case. This is a virus
Yeah.
destroying the world.
And put this in the multiverse.
Yes.
Somewhere. Yeah.
Mhm.
I do have a question. If you want to go back to Tayo Zoe, if
Let's
that's
go.
fine.
Yeah.
I have a question though. Why is she following Noah? Why is May following Noah? What was the reason for that? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's plot. It's like
Because she was there right at the start, right?
right from the
Because they
start.
had their horses and she was there.
Yeah,
Was it a simple idea to keep warm or something?
that's it for the blanket.
For the
No,
blanket.
she was apparently this is what I understood. She was following them. She was following the masked apes to get to that bunker,
Right.
to get to that vault.
Oh.
But then
Great
why
call.
does she follow him eventually? Why
Because
does
he is going to go find his clan. And the masked gorillas, I think there was a
No,
gorilla.
not even then. Because remember before the attack, right? That's the reason why he broke his egg, because he came into the
Mm.
camp and tried to steal something from him. It was just all for the blanket.
Mhm.
That was it. She just wanted to get the blanket. Okay, that's it.
Writing is a reason. Yeah.
Right.
Maybe she just knew they were the safer apes.
The safer
And,
apes?
Yeah.
Yeah, and,
Looking for security is what we do.
another question is, if the people were so dumb, how come they were all cloth?
That's actually what I commented on with my friend in the cinema.
Yeah.
I was
Oh, yours
like,
is sewing machine.
her clothes is too advanced for.
Yeah, they were so dumb. No, even the dumb ones, the dumb humans in the wild, how come they're clothed? I would expect them to be putting something for the cold, because as a natural reflex, you find something to cover yourself.
Yeah.
But not like two-piece clothing, like
Yeah.
I wouldn't. If I was dumb, I wouldn't think that. I just put something on, and that's it. So I don't know. It's just
Because PG-15.
yeah,
I think.
PG-15.
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 You
But
can't have people running around with like willies hanging out
I
and
know,
titties
I
jumping
know,
around,
but
and then
I mean, but just to suspend disbelief, I thought it would have been better.
I mean, it's gonna
if
get
they
banned if
censored
we
it.
see if it's translated.
They could always just put the blank thing, like the one that they did for Oppenheimer. They could do that.
Or maybe the one from Dune, where it's like just they have like one sheet of clothing in some.
Yeah,
of the
just one sheet of
villages.
clothing.
Yeah.
That's it, just to cover yourself.
I
guess.
haven't seen Oppenheimer either.
The
Are you
reboot.
serious?
I'm serious. It's like it was way too long, and
That one you're quite
I mean,
serious.
it
I mean,
is.
no.
It is.
I don't care if
You
everyone's
know, it
talking
took
about
me
it.
3 days to finish Irishman.
I don't blame you for that one. To to be honest.
It took me three sessions of sitting down and just continuing on. Like I would watch for a solid hour and then come to a point where nothing was happening, but not a very high peak in the movie to pause it and then go along with my day and come back to it later. And it took me a solid 3 days to finish The Irishman. It was an amazing movie, but like, god damn, 3 hours.
One of the trilogies I really want to go back to is the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Okay.
Because when I watched it for the first time, I was watching it with my friends, and I think it took us 3 months to finish it
3
Is
months.
that the extended
because
version?
they just could not like watch it in multiples, like in one session or like 2 sessions.
Really?
Yes, it took us months to finish
How
it.
long is the
trilogy?
director
Three
cut
hours
thingy
each.
release?
No, 4
they're
hours.
like
Is it 4
4
hours?
hours
Yes,
each.
the
4
extended
hours
cut.
each.
So that's 12 hours.
12 hours.
The original one, I think one of them runs around 2 hours, like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And then
That's what
like
we're
it's
talking
all,
about.
all
The extended is
sub
like
3
4
days.
hours each.
Each.
I
yeah.
think it's attributed to generations. Your generation can't sit too long in front of the movie.
Except
Except
I
generous.
can. Like, okay, you don't have to bully us, millennial.
TikTok
No, I'm
generation,
just
yeah.
saying. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
it's true though. It's
I'm just
true.
saying, our generation, and that was the reason that movie was created in our generation.
Listen,
because
I
people
can-
would sit 4 hours.
4
straight.
hours.
Brother, I
straight.
can watch trilogies, okay? I can watch it.
Plus, we
It's
had
not my problem.
intermissions in
My
cinema.
friends were too
When did
weak
they
to
stop?
handle 1
I-
hour of Lord of the Rings because it was too overstimulating.
And that's what I'm
for
saying.
them.
Generation. It's a generational
Yeah.
thing.
And I think the intermission is a very big part of it. We had intermissions in cinema, and
Not for this movie. Not for Lord of the Rings, no. If you watch it in from the cinema, no. It doesn't have. You mean your movies?
no. Long movies like 2 hours plus movies, 3 hours movie. And when you went to the cinema, they had an intermission in the middle of the movie,
Oh, no.
like a 10-minute, 15-minute break.
No, they don't.
We actually had that in when I watched Oppenheimer in the UK. They had an intermission.
Yeah,
Egypt, every movie has an intermission, but now in the rest of the world they don't have it.
it's still a thing in some European countries.
Never
Yeah.
had an intermission.
But like, with some exceptions, you know, like they don't do it all the time.
Would you watch a reboot of, not a reboot, another sequel of Lord of the Rings?
They're actually
They're
doing
making
it
one.
They're making
Oh,
one.
it's gonna
Yes.
be a prequel.
Oh.
Yes. So a new Gollum movie. Heard
In
about this?
2026.
Really?
Yeah, a new Gollum.
I've
focused
heard
movie.
It's a
about
Peter
spin-off,
it.
Jackson
though.
is involved, and we've heard Andy Serkis, the original Gollum, is going to direct.
But that will be a spin-off, not really a
I don't know.
prequel.
Yeah, so it must be a sidequel because we know Gollum died. Spoilers.
Yeah.
At the end of Return of the King, he fell into lava at last. So when is this going to be placed, and will people care?
I won't.
So again, this is going to be another legacy
I mean,
sequel.
people
Maybe
didn't
it's the
didn't watch care
story
about
of
the
Smeagol.
Hobbits.
That could be the
Before
in between
he-
years. Yeah.
Yeah, before he becomes Gollum. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it interesting before he became Gollum? I think that's the question.
Well,
I
we see him
mean, who knows?
fishing, and we think, okay, he seems a nice chap, and then he
Yeah.
kills his cousin. Is it?
Mm.
And then he goes off, and the
Yeah.
ring corrupts him. So
Yes.
is it going to be placed in that time? Do we need to see that?
I don't know.
Money.
I mean, the game was
I
awful.
think
I
it's
heard the
all
game was
money.
awful. Right.
It's connected to money.
Huh?
Like
Yeah,
Lord of the
cash in,
Rings,
yeah.
cash in on something. Lord of the Rings, the story finished. Like you cannot top what.
No.
Bro, it finished
What was
before the
done.
World War II started. I think that's crazy. But anyways, so like the way
Generations.
you know, like it finished 100 years ago. So like, I don't know what they can do about it.
Okay, away from sci-fi fantasy legacy sequels, how about this one? My guy Rocky and the Creed movies. Thoughts?
Awful.
No.
No. God,
No.
it's going so well. Awful.
No.
Awful.
I
Oh, are you
disagree.
talking about
Yes.
Rocky or the Creed movies?
Creed movies.
Why do you think awful?
There is no point.
Why?
You're just cashing on Rocky Balboa, and that's it. Nothing else.
He was even barely seen in the trilogy.
Yeah, but like,
He was there in the first movie, I think,
He was
Yeah,
there in the
but
first.
was there
That was
first in the
mainly
movie?
So
to train
Oh,
him.
it's
yeah,
just-
trains him, and then the second one it was up against Drago's son, and Rocky was
Yeah.
in and out of the movie. Third, he's not in it. at
Third,
all.
he's not
It's all-
even there.
It's all given over to Creed. Yeah.
Like there's nothing interesting that excites me to watch it.
Have
Like-
you seen them though?
Yes.
Okay.
All
And
three
all
of them.
full. All three.
All
Okay.
three of them. No.
It didn't pull
I-
you in.
Sorry.
It didn't pull you in. Even
Like
the
the third installment was interesting, like with the way his
The
friend
fights.
from prison, but
Yeah.
even but it's like it's the same thing. It's the same outcome. Like I want to see him lose for once.
He lost in the second one. You want to see him lose the
No.
end, as in not the big
No, I think-
moment. You don't want that.
Like it's predictable.
Okay,
It's
but that's
too
the Rocky
predictable.
formula, though.
I mean, change it. You have the power
c-
to change it.
That's
You know?
true.
Yeah, but people don't have I would say people don't have balls to do that.
That's very true.
Yeah. So like it's
When was the last time you watch a movie where the bad guy wins?
Thanos.
Infinity War.
But
That was a long
did
time
he
ago. Wow.
necessarily win or not? They came up with time travel, go back, do
Yeah.
I mean,
this
he
and-
won.
So he won that film.
Yeah, it was like kind of win the battle, lose the war type of
Yeah, good. Yeah.
thing. But no, like genuinely, the bad guy wins.
But like in general, in terms of Rocky and Creed franchise, like there is enough Rocky movies that the Creed cannot add anything new to it.
Yeah. So the third Creed movie was the 9th Rocky movie.
Yeah.
So like there's enough 6 Rocky movies that like I don't need another 3 which like it's a different character and then but it's the same thing from the 6 movies. So just either you make something new or you just keep it as it is.
Okay.
Because the Rocky movies are already good as it is. So there's no need for another Creed and then just
Okay.
Ye-
So Rocky, yay. Creed,
Well, yes,
nay.
his direction in Creed 3 was not bad, decent, but overall, it's a cash grab.
you know the Rocky movie that never made the sequel or made a trilogy? $1 Million Baby.
Which one is that?
Good call.
Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, but it's a girl, so that's how you diversify but that came before the Creed movies, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was great. That you can't make a sequel because
Not
the
gonna
girl
revisit
died.
that movie. No.
Because the girl died in that movie.
Ends on a bit of a low. for
Yeah,
sure.
but it was a good. If you wanted something different, I think that is
Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah.
that is how you make something different.
Mhm.
Yeah, you make the lead disabled in the end and die in horrendous pain because that is what boxing is. It's just showing the reality of boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not all glamour. It's not all.
It's all
the
glamorous.
show.
Yeah. So do you want a sequel where then Creed has Parkinson's?
Yes.
It would be
That would be
interesting though.
interesting.
Like think about it.
Imagine him
Think
winning the
about-
championship even though he has Parkinson's.
Because that's what.
But
they-
you're still making
Imagine
him
seeing
win.
him like
he's-
losing his.
But he's still winning. It's like
still
go.
have to
It's like
overcome.
going to a Batman movie,
Make
and the
it
final
interesting.
sequence of the movie is people lowering down Bruce Wayne into the grave.
But Sam, there is a reason you're watching Batman because there's something interesting to watch. There's like interesting things like from cinematography, from plot-wise, and the characters. Whereas Creed is just, I'm gonna beat you up. I'm gonna beat you with the
That's the
rig.
poster.
And then he pushes him before like the weight-in thing event, and then I'm gonna mess you up. And then his wife is like, oh, please, you can leave. You can just quit it, please. And then he's like, oh, I promise you, I'm gonna beat him. I'm gonna whoop him. And then his coach hates him. He's like, no, you don't. You don't have the power. And he's like, I don't care. And it's the same thing.
It's gonna
It's
be
just
my final
See,
fight. I'll retire
it's
after this.
recycled.
Yeah.
It's so much
No, no.
recycled.
No, but you're right. I think the Creed
I want him shot. I want him in prison.
in a
This
boxing
is what I
ring-
want.
Plot twist
in
though.
a boxing
No, not in the
ring.
boxing ring. Like, change this
He's
setting.
boxing
Like, change something.
As the recreation of the Indiana Jones
Like-
sequence comes in with a boxing, pulls a gun and shoots the guy.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Like,
No. So no. But you're right. I think the Creed trilogy is done because the Rocky formula has always been, it's an underdog person and then attaining championship status in the end.
Yeah.
So the third movie should be him at his top tier, and I think Creed In the last movie, he's already in his top tier.
Mm.
In fact, he was fighting somebody, who came out of prison.
Yeah.
And the underdog is actually the guy from prison, not
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he'd retired.
And
Donnie
he
retired.
retired actually.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's just we're trying to bring back the dead. So for the next Creed movie, it's gonna be the same formula. It's gonna be another guy, starting from scratch,
Yeah,
trying to
so
learn boxing, and then gaining fame and the abilities of a champion
And then
into
it's
the third movie.
like it's either gonna be the son of the guy from the third
So
movie.
here's an
and
interesting
then,
question.
oh, I want to learn to box.
What would you like to see rebooted?
Huh, that's interesting.
What would you like to see rebooted?
Yeah.
What would I?
The Matrix.
But we
Ah,
haven't
no,
yet.
sorry, no reboot, right? Reboot means completely
Mhm.
Yeah.
the same premise, everything.
Yeah, so
but
we've
you
had a
just
legacy
change-
sequel with Matrix. Was it Revolutions?
Resurrection.
And that was poorly received, right?
Yeah.
Ah.
Went too
Way
went too
too.
meta.
Yeah.
I have an idea.
Go.
Back to the Future.
Ooh, that would be
dangerous.
nice.
Reboot.
Really?
Very
Reboot.
dangerous,
Dangerous?
but it would be nice.
Reboot, and
If-
then the future will no longer be 2025. Sorry, what was the date? 2019? In the old one?
Yeah.
The future was 2019, I think.
It's
Mhm.
So that-
1985, 1955.
And then they
Yeah.
that's the reason why there was a meme coming out. Oh no, we're already in Back to the Future. Where are the
Yeah.
where are the floating
Floating
skateboards? and
skateboard,
all
yeah,
that?
Doesn't
yeah.
exist.
The hoverboard.
So now the future will be something else really in the future.
But see, like something with Back to the Future, it's one of, I would believe, the first type of sci-fi movie that I watched as a child.
I think most people of our generation.
And it's not something that you should play it safe. It's one that if you're gonna do it, like go make it a bit.
Improve on it. Do justice on the trilogy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do something wild. Don't play it safe. It's because at the time itself, Back to
Yeah.
the Future was not a movie playing it safe.
Imagine Robert Zemeckis doing what, using whatever he has at the time, the technology and everything, the effects, right? So it was groundbreaking at the time.
Mm.
So imagine what you can do with all the, the graphical developments now in film,
Yeah.
with the same premise and everything. I think it will be amazing. Me personally.
No, I agree. I agree.
And
Back
will we
to
go with the
Future.
fan casting of Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Holland?
Oh
Tom
no.
Holland.
No.
Tom Holland as
No.
no, it could actually work.
As
Marty McFly as Tom
yeah,
Holland, it
yeah.
could work.
Have you
It
seen
could
the
work.
deepfake video of that?
No, I
There
haven't.
is
I
a deep-
haven't.
You've seen a deepfake of Robert Downey Jr. as Doc, and Tom Holland as Marty McFly.
No.
Oh, guys, check it out when it's over.
Oh,
You go,
dude.
what? This works. This works. And I'd be against it, to be honest, 'cause I think I'm just one of those adorers of the original, so don't touch it. But as tuning, we're so far
They-
into the future. What will the 30 years in the future be? Yeah.
They have a good chemistry as well, so it kind of would
Yeah, and
translate.
They have that
onto-
mentor they've established already.
Yeah.
Yeah, and plot twist now, he kisses his mom.
Oh, no.
Ah.
And then he
PG-13.
disappears forever. No more trilogy. Anyway,
That's the thing, though. What I dislike about movies now, we don't get proper R-rated movies anymore. Everything is watered down.
Joker Part 2. Deadpool's gonna be.
I
Or
have
do
a
you want more
suggestion for-
crime? Do you talking about
Like
those and-
proper, like R-rated. I'm not talking about like sexuality-wise. No, like proper adult, like topics, conversations, things. Because a lot of them they do water it down to get that PG rating.
Sure.
And okay, why is Deadpool an R-rated movie? It's the vocabulary of the movie itself,
True,
not
yeah.
necessarily what happens in the movie. It's the
Mm.
vocabulary. You get horror movies that are like PG-16. Like horror movies are not supposed to be PG-16.
No.
You're supposed to like come out of the cinema with a shot set of pants if you're gonna watch a horror movie. And all of them are getting like what I would really love to see is an R-rated version of Lara Croft.
That'd be very cool. Actually.
Like have a
Yeah.
proper Tomb Raider where the shit that goes on in the adventure is like proper
bone
uh,
crunching.
yeah,
Yeah. Bigger hurts.
Yeah, bigger hurts. Like you think about it, you're going down to like a millennia-old tomb. Like have some bodies like being torn in half, or like somebody falls in a proper. Like show how it feels to fall in a pit of acid. Yeah, but you don't get to see that in the movies. The movies are like just
Yeah, because
PG-15,
because kids.
PG-13. Because
of
kids.
Let's
Yeah.
think of the kids.
I have
Fuck
like,
them kids.
Someone think of the children.
Speaking
Fuck them children.
He has a suggestion.
In the words of
I have two,
great
actually.
Bernie Mac, I'm paraphrasing.
for rebooting. One is a reboot of The Good, the Bad, and Ugly.
Okay, classic westerns. Yeah.
Ooh, interesting.
Even though it's already good, but I would love to see either a modern setting or just the same setting, but with recent cinema.
Yeah, and Leo. Who is Leo playing? Is he coming back to reprise his? Not reprise his role. He's gonna be one of the.
No, don't reprise. I think they're all dead.
No, Leo's alive.
Clint
Really?
Eastwood's alive.
Really?
But
Okay.
95 and getting on.
But
a
yeah.
lot. But he's still alive.
But I mean,
You can wheel him on to, yeah.
he should.
Have a rocking chair on the bar.
Yeah.
Maybe like an homage cameo,
Yeah.
maybe.
At least like a get off my lawn type of scene.
Gran Turismo
Get off my
car,
ranch, yeah.
He's just doing like a Mexican standards. They're like, okay, yeah. you
Yeah,
need to-
my town,
But that'll be a
boy.
good reboot.
I like that.
The other one is Fast and Furious.
We're barely out
I
of it.
am done with this.
But a proper one. I agree
Something
with
that
this.
has no family and no Vin Diesel.
No, but that's
But a
that is
proper
what
one.
Not
Fast
want
and the
that.
Furious. Fast and the Furious.
No,
Family.
no, no, no,
Wait,
no.
no, no,
What
no,
makes
no.
Fast and Furious is custom cars, illegal things.
Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift. Yes. Tokyo
Start from there.
Drift.
Start from
I
Tokyo
agree.
Drift.
I
That
agree.
way,
I
not
agree.
that
I agree.
Like where it's like it has the custom cars.
Yeah.
The vibe.
No
the
more,
city,
no
the
more saving
nightlife.
the world. No more. It's like
going
fast.
No more
Cars,
launching to
yeah.
space.
Fast cars, nitrous oxide, a lot of neon on cars and titties. Like
Awesome
make it that.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
The soundtrack.
Yes.
Iconic soundtrack.
Iconic
Like,
soundtracks.
we're still listening.
6 days, like
Yeah,
at
like-
the starting of the week, another bomb. Like yeah. Like,
No,
you get-
like this is what we
suit up.
want. Like the reason why Tokyo Drift is my favorite is because like it's just they're all in
music,
Tokyo,
the scene,
music, the school
Like cracked
life.
up initial D.
Yeah,
yes,
it's just teenagers
yes,
being
it's
teenagers.
a cracked up initial D.
Cracked up initial D.
Yes, that's what Fast and Furious used to be about, and
Yes.
then at some point in time,
Out
kind
of-
of.
Then there's guns and trucks and
I
trains.
think ever since Paul Walker died, it went sideways.
Paul Walker died.
Went a bit soft.
No.
Yeah.
Before he died, it went downhill. Like I think the minute F5 came in, that's when it went downhill. When The Rock,
When the Rock came.
Oh,
when The
yeah.
Rock came in,
Oh, right.
like that's when it went downhill.
Whatever
Yeah,
the
do
rock
it,
touches
Yeah,
Literally.
turns to
turns
shit.
to
He
shit.
called himself franchise Viagra. I remember. Really rock- and that's for 5 minutes. Oh, okay. It's good to know, man. Okay.
It's the reverse, unfortunately.
That was it. Okay. All right, guys. So we talk reboots. We talk legacy sequels. Gagma, should we talk some box office numbers in Qatar?
Before you say that, I'm gonna say
on,
another
Sam.
very controversial one.
Excellent. Throw it in there.
Either a sequel or a prequel, but I think a prequel would be much nicer. Mario Puzo's Godfather.
There was talks of a prequel.
Marlon Brando before he became
Marlon Brando, yeah.
So
Like-
de-aged Marlon Brando.
The age.
Uh,
Yeah, you can do with AI.
AI
nowadays.
Marlon Brando.
No, don't use
But that,
AI on him.
that was done by
A
Rob De
younger.
Niro in the second one.
And the second one, he kind of has that, but maybe from a different point of view. Maybe from but something Godfather,
Okay.
and not in a 21st century setting.
Which century set?
Before I would say rise of technology.
Okay. So
'Cause-
pre-industrial revolution, Italy. So we're
Yeah,
saying-
something European,
Okay.
or like
Back in
'cause
Sicily.
Sicily, even I would say, perhaps not New York.
Something
Perhaps
before they
throw it
immigrated
under
to
it.
America, right?
Maybe you could like kind of cut it half and half, because by the time on the third one when it comes out, by the time of Immobiliare, they're way into the 21st century setting. And then it just becomes another movie about gangsters, casinos, drugs, and prostitution.
Okay.
But come back a step back. And for example, they still have one more book, The Sicilian,
That's right. Yes.
but that they have not done. They haven't really touched on when Michael goes back to Sicily to
Corleone.
Corleone to kind of hide. There is a whole book about that sequence of where he goes
Yeah,
back.
because in
and
the
hides.
movie it's like half an hour, but it's like 4 years, isn't it?
It
Something like
is a
that?
very
Yeah.
long time. So you do get like there is a lot of
Material,
like,
a lot of
yeah,
material that you
material
can still
to
use.
go back.
Yes.
So that would be a very controversial because still after this many years, it is within the top 10 of IMDb.
Yes. Yes.
True. Yes. True. Test
All
time.
three of them at the test of time. Like it's
Mhm.
kind of yeah. It is. It is a giant of cinema.
Okay. That's true.
So
I think we should do a poll tomorrow. Which of those reboots do people want to see? Do you want to
Yeah.
see The Godfather? Do we want to see Fast and the
Fast
Furious?
and the Furious.
Or Back to the
reboot,
Future?
Back to the Future.
Let's
Yes.
see
Yes.
who wins.
Very good idea.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
That is a reason to tune in next week. Definitely. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk some box office, shall we, Gagma, before
Yeah.
we get out of here?
So, box office this week. Oh.
Surprise, surprise. What about?
Okay, there are some surprises. So, number one is The Fall Guy.
Okay.
And number two is Godzilla.
I'm actually. Can I be surprised by that shown in Qatar?
Mhm.
As in people going to see it. Who's the audience here for that?
I
Me.
mean,
Yeah.
it's
Review?
him. He's the
Hey.
reason why it's number one box office.
By the way, I haven't watched it. I
That's
wanted
why
to
we
watch.
haven't seen you in 2
No,
weeks.
no, I want to watch
I
it.
mean,
though. I
Ryan
wanna watch
Gosling appeals to
it. Me.
the feminine.
My feminine,
You mean the male
my
gaze.
feminine side, maybe. No,
Hey, it's 21st century, man.
No,
We-
interestingly, that movie was created by the same guy who did I don't remember. An
Which one?
interesting film as well. So I'm watching it because of that. Bullet Train. So the
Ah,
same
yes,
guy
yes,
who
yes.
Oh,
directed
really?
Bullet Train, yeah.
Oh, and did John Wick? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the kind of the formula I was looking for,
Cool.
and that's why I wanted to watch the film. Not because of Ryan Gosling.
But you know this.
the
like
what?
you're into movies, so you would recognize that okay, director X did this, executive X did
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
or
Okay.
like the person who did the coordinator of stunts did this or that. But if you kind of zoom out for the masses,
Ryan Gosling.
girls, Ryan Gosling,
He's so
guys,
cute.
Bullet Train, Brad Pitt.
Keanu
Yeah.
Reeves.
Okay. You got Fall Guy number one, appealing
God-
to the feminine side.
Godzilla,
Okay.
Kong, The New Empire, number two. Number three
Dethroned.
is yeah, he's been officially dethroned by
Mm.
Ken.
Best actor in the
God of
Oscars, by the way.
Monsters.
Took home the best actor award.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knuff. Knuff. And then number three, Egyptian movie. Number four, Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire.
Okay, I'm happy about that.
Yeah, it should stay that way.
Another legacy sequel.
Number
of
five,
course.
Kung Fu Panda 4.
That's hanging in there, so strong.
You know,
For the kids.
Anyone seen
for
it?
a cash grab movie, I'm impressed.
Yeah, they really followed the Shrek model, which was to descale, bring it down. Don't bring in Angelina Jolie, Seth Rogen.
Because it was
Jackie
too
Chan.
expensive to bring
Too
them.
expensive to bring them in, and then you bring in your side character, and it looks like they're going to get a spin-off, a la Puss in Boots.
So yeah, like.
Oh, wow, so much money off that movie.
Number six, Egyptian movie. Number seven, Civil War. Number eight, Egyptian movie. Number nine, A Frozen
Ooh,
Adventure.
Civil War is one that I really want to go watch,
Civil War's
especially
awesome.
because of the 28 days later. And one of the best. I would not one of the best, but among there. It's up there.
You heard my
28
review
days.
sound.
Yeah, actually,
Someone's
it's
listening.
like because it's what I wouldn't go watch it if I didn't hear that piece of information. To be honest,
So Alex
for-
Garland, you owe me a ticket.
Because it's what was that Matt Damon movie about the war thing that he had?
What?
Green Zone.
Saving
was
Private
it,
Ryan.
Right? No. Oh, that's very old. No.
Matt Damon. You said Matt Damon.
like just looking, judging a book by its cover. Civil War reminds me of that, like American goes to Afghanistan, Iraq type of thing,
Yeah.
saves the place, kind of story happens, come back, PTSD, like kind of that type of formula. But then when I heard 28 Days Later, I was like, ooh, now that is an interesting concept to go and see. It's especially since a lot of people, so cinema in Iran is not very caught up to what happens in directors and in between directors and executives and these things in Hollywood. It's just that what you get as a box office hit, what you get as a moneymaker thing, like the whole watching the movie for Ryan Gosling. So that is why Iranians watch Hollywood movies.
The finished product.
The finished product. They
Okay.
watch, for example, let's say Thor because Chris Hemsworth is in it, or they watch Iron Man because Robert Downey Jr. is in it.
Okay.
They don't watch it because they are Marvel comic fans. They don't watch Batman because they've seen the animated series or grew up with the comics. Then no, they watch Batman, Christian Bale, household name,
Right.
that type of thing. But coming down to horror movies, every single Iranian that I've shown 28 Days Later to has become a fan of it.
Really.
Wow,
Okay.
that's interesting.
It's as frantic as Black Hawk Dawn. I think if you
Frantic,
watch,
great call.
yeah, the movie, just suspend your disbelief a bit. The premise is a bit silly, with the media thing and everything. But yeah, the effects and everything, the war, it's
yeah.
the way they portrayed it. It's kind of like Black Hawk Dawn, I would say. The way it was portrayed, the war, the Civil War.
Like that.
So that's a movie
You should watch.
definitely this
You should watch
weekend.
Highly
before
recommend it.
before it goes away.
Yeah, in IMAX if you can, for sure.
Mm.
Yeah.
There's always pirating.
We don't
Okay,
endorse
Jack,
part
what-
debate.
yeah, what's
Number nine.
Or
Even though I condone this, but anyways, number 9, A Frozen Adventure.
from Disney.
No, it's like a.
So it's just not the Frozen. It's a Frozen.
No, it's just A Frozen Adventure.
not the Frozen.
No. It's
Oh,
like,
is that that must be stretching a
it's
law
just-
somewhere.
yeah, it's just like a
Okay.
And there's no number 10, surprisingly. I don't know why.
There's only 9 movies out.
Yes, they just put 9 movies. And surprisingly, Dune 2
Mm.
is not on the box office anymore now.
That's
So
weird. Yeah.
it's gone now. And Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is not in the box office.
Dune 2 is out of
Maybe
the
numbers
box
aren't in.
office because it's already in streaming everywhere, I guess.
Which
so
one?
people can just watch it
Okay.
from their homes.
Which one?
Dune 2.
No, but no, because I think it just finally has been dethroned since it's been on the box office for too long.
Yes, yes.
So, but surprisingly, still, even now, Godzilla and Kong is now available on digital media as
Yeah.
well.
Yep.
So
Pirate Bay.
Were we late because of Ramadan? That's why it was shown late to us.
No,
Or
no, no.
It's a global.
No.
show? Oh,
No, it was a global.
Some
release.
movies were late, like Ghostbusters.
Dune.
Ghostbusters,
But yeah, but it's still
Dune,
held up,
Like
it's still
So
held up.
we've caught up now. Yeah.
Yeah. We're
We're
caught up.
now.
We're in the
But-
summer season. Yes.
But yeah, disappointingly, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is not on top 10.
Well, they haven't done the figures yet, probably. Okay. Do we have any new box office coming out, or is everywhere just laid for Kingdom to let
I
it
mean,
breathe
there's
a
the
little
new
bit?
Conan movie. It's out right now. If
The
people want to watch it.
Barbarian or O'Brien.
No, Detective Conan.
Conan
Detective.
O'Brien.
So
the
this
movie?
is a generational thing.
Whoa,
O'Brien the movie.
I know Conan the Barbarian. That's one I knew. But Conan the what?
Conan the
Detective
detective.
Conan.
Detective
I do not
Conan.
know
It's an age thing.
I'm
Wow.
old. Who
It's
is
an
we
age
need
thing.
to get you to watch Detective
Please give me
Conan.
more. Tell me more.
Millennials,
Listen.
Gen Xer,
Sell
and
me.
Gen Z.
Gen Z. Okay.
So Conan
Yes.
is the premise of
Sell
it's a Japanese manga turned anime,
Gotcha.
and it if I'm not mistaken, it hails from the 80s. Is it 80s or early
90s?
90s?
Very long, very old.
But maybe the manga
80s,
came out
80s.
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 Yeah, 80s.
So, the premise is a genius adult genius, a college goer. I believe he's a college goer at that point. He
was
goes
a college
to university,
student, yeah.
college student. Is the boyfriend of the daughter of a detective. Now he falls into the hands of a mob or so-called whatever, has a form of drug that turns him into a child. He gets adopted, kind of, by his girlfriend and her father. A very weird, like Japanese-esque dynamic. This goes on, and it's basically every episode new crime to solve, and he solves the crime with the help of the child helps of the gadgets that the professor gives him to kind of fill in the blanks and help the detective father solve the crime, but he's the one puppeteering behind it.
Right.
Now this runs for so long that chronologically
It does not make sense.
he has to be the same adult that he was turned from 20 years ago,
Yeah.
24 years
Yeah.
ago, kind of thing. Like, I mean,
Kind of 10 years ago, since
it's.
he went from 10, or even, no, even
I mean,
younger than 10.
it comes out in the 90s, so
Yeah.
we are at 2024. So he should be
But I
like
mean,
at
like,
least 24 now,
He
like
should
30.
be 30 now.
But yeah,
He's just stuck in this eternal
this
Like the
eternal
timeline.
loop.
He's like the
of-
Simpsons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's
Okay.
kind of, you know, like it's imagine you're watching episodic movies.
Okay.
You're kind of watching episodic movies.
And these are live action or animated?
Let me give you. It's a CSI type of thing,
Oh, okay.
but
Gotcha.
with the like every episode different crime, different solving.
With an overarching
storyline.
Okay,
kinda
so murder of the week, but also
murder of the
you know,
week and
big bad.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Like it's what Fast and Furious is trying to become.
Okay. Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
No, but he's like, you know, he's a smart detective.
Okay.
You know, he's like fighting, you know, against large, you know, gangsters or like agents or
Yeah.
like corporations. Like it's fun to watch. Like you're just shutting your brain off and just, you know.
Okay.
You're
Yeah, at
watching
some
it for
point
fun.
it just became a shutting your brain off.
Cool.
Yeah.
So where can I watch it?
Cinema right now.
Pirate
right
Bay.
now.
So this is first movie?
The
No, that's like
Okay,
the
well-
30th movie.
Jesus. So Netflix, Amazon Prime, where can I see?
The
The
Pirate Bay.
movie.
Dude,
The cinema.
the cinema.
Cinema.
Okay.
Crunchy.
As
well,
of now,
this
the
one, this
cinema.
one is in the cinema,
We
but
encourage you
is
to
it
look at
is it called
cinema.
Crunchyroll? Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Yeah.
Crunchyroll is-
Cool, I will check.
Or if you wanna, you know.
Upcoming movies?
Yep.
Garfield.
got-
Just saw
Furiosa,
It's
yes.
coming up.
Yes, looking
Furiosa.
forward to this.
But it's not this week.
Okay, yeah.
Ah,
I think
not this
everywhere's,
week. Sorry,
everywhere's
okay.
giving Kingdom. Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
No, that's something forward to.
But so I'm gonna list it off. It's called "You Can't Run Forever" by I don't know who that is.
Oh, it has J. Jonah Jameson in it, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Indian movie. Indian
I am
movie,
actually
Indian
surprised
movie,
by the
Egyptian
level
movie.
of Indian.
here's one. Liam Neeson's movie called Memory. It's like another Taken ripoff.
Yeah, I think that's.
When is this guy gonna finish?
No, let him do his
Let
thing.
him do his thing. My fellow countrymen, let him do
Like,
his thing.
Who's like?
No, let him do
Does
his
he not
thing.
get bored?
He's
No,
the
no, I
new
enjoy his
Clint
movies.
Eastwood.
That's and also Leslie Nielsen. Like,
I'm
does
sorry,
the
but like,
Naked Gun movies.
doesn't he get bored of it?
He's like the Adam Sandler of action movies. Just let him do his
Let's
thing.
do his thing.
Yeah.
If you enjoy it, you love it. If
Yeah.
you don't, forget about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You don't go watch. You go watch the movie because it's a Liam Neeson movie that has the same sequence and everything. as well,
Yeah,
so.
just
What
watch
was
it.
his latest one? The one that he goes back to Ireland.
Oh, dude, I have no idea.
Same thing. IRA comes into a village. He saves the village.
Goes
type of thing.
Off, leaves
Then
again.
yeah,
The Expendables.
Very Clint Eastwood.
yeah.
Something Expendables
No,
3.
No.
It's that movie.
But that's okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
And then two Indian movies.
Okay,
So yeah.
very good.
Garfield?
Garfield 23rd.
Ah, 23rd.
I'm surprised the new Aliens movie is not coming
Oh,
the same
Romulus.
day
Yeah. The
because
counter programming.
yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah.
So lots to look forward to. Okay, guys, do we have ideas for a topic for next week? Anything spring to mind, or should we ask for comments?
Let's
Well,
ask
we
what they
can
want
ask
us to talk about?
suggestions.
Hmm?
We can have suggestions, but
Yeah, so in the comments below or on our X at Qatar Entertainment 2022. Also on Instagram, follow us there. Twitch, Spotify, follow, like.
Feels very, very weird finally hearing somebody say on X.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
calling it Twix for a long time.
Twix.
I do like old
Twix.
Twitter. I don't like X. Twix. Just do
Twix,
Twix.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. This has been a lot of fun. We had a lot of movie talk, which is my favorite kind of talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
And-
So where can we find each other on the socials, Sam? Or do you want them to find you?
No, I'm good.
He's just Sam.
I'm good. I don't need people to know.
It's just Sam.
He's
It's just
Yeah.
Sam.
Just Sam.
You can just
Just
type
Sam.
it's just Sam. You'll find him.
Instagram Lodi1 Kenobi. LOD1 Kenobi.
No.
No.
No, yeah.
But yeah, it's I am Gagma. You can find me on Instagram. So yeah, I'm there.
You find us all. And I'm Mighty Dar on Instagram. And check out cinemascholars.com where I contribute regularly. Just have some fun with movies and we celebrate cinema as we all should. And thank you to our director, Hamad.
The
Hamza?
man behind the camera.
There he is.
Thanks to the director.
There he is. Genius. And should you all say bye to our leader who's of content hiking in Japan?
No, let him be. No, I don't want to say bye. Let
Boss
him
man, everything is in good hands.
As you
stay
can see,
there
the four of us,
for long.
we did okay.
be. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have it, guys. Episode 60 of Qatartainment done. Any final words, gents?
See you guys in episode 61. Bye, guys.
Were you not Qatartained?